Hey, greetings. Welcome back to the channel. And today we're going to um, look with OpenAI. But I what we've been seeing is just a lot that is plenty of uses for ChatGPT that kind of fill people's own end needs, right? Such as using it to write a resume or using it to answer to to basically fill out um, forms with large pieces of text. But I think, with Chat GPT is the sum of like human intelligence, I think it's really an insult that, people aren't really trying to build the future. When I mean the future is like spaceships, flying cars, and that such thing, right? So there's like three things I want to ask Chat GPT in this video. Let's see what it can do. Build a flying car, build a building, like without any human, just like an inflatable building, but in a way that like the building is, say for example, I had to build out a just a 3-story home, but without any humans, but it was just given some materials and a tool would just generate a building, right? I think of something like that, and then the third one is a spaceship, right? To basically not just like the spaceships we have now, but the spaceship that travel large distances and potentially encounter other forms of life. So let's start out with the car and let's try to see how this goes, even if we get to point 1 to 3. So instructions, and then there's a prompt engineering, right? You have to be more detailed. The more detailed you get generally, right? And then the more that you highlight ways to get around limitations, the better that you should be. A car, when I think of a car that has 4 wheels, so I'm gonna say a vehicle that a levitating vehicle. If you build a levitating vehicle that could do anything, someone can make a lot of money. And use itself and its internals to generate rate. Not on a planet. So, I think AI would have an answer for it, but it doesn't. Maybe you can't do it in give me the answer in one go, but something's really wrong with this answer. And so I think the outage. Oh yeah, so research and study, right? No, just yeah. So it's like telling me like, well, yeah. So basically, if I took out the research and experts, then step in creating. So, so basically, okay, so all right, so basically now I gotta ask it, right, how to come up with these electromagnetic clocks and the technologies. So basically, generates a force strong enough to overcome gravity. What if it could work with gravity? So, so basically, by asking it about the year 2100, right, we kind of said it kind of, and then this is one thing I noticed about Chat-GPT, right? If you put it in a different context, it like thinks with a set of defaults, right? If you put it in a certain context, then it's able to start to come up with answers, right? So there's probably more parameters here that I gotta try to get it, because right now it's start thinking like a certain person. It's thinking like a person in the year in our current decade. But if you like tell it you're smart enough to do this, mine's in the 21st in 2100. Let's say. Ah, right. But all right. So let's just go back to 2025. Right. I guess once you start to tell it subjective things, then it immediately knows, right? But I think you got to give it objective parameters that it's like okay, like 2100, all right, and something else that indicates that it should have the knowledge, right? Because it has the knowledge. It's just certain keywords that you need to tell it to unlock the knowledge. So, and I definitely do feel like these creators, they're coming up with ways to kind of keep that knowledge hidden still, but the AI should more than have knowledge um to develop a levitating cart even now. And so electromagnetic. All right. So hypothetical examples. So basically, right, in order to levitate, right, you need a lot of energy. And now to have a lot of energy, right, you need materials that could withstand higher temperature and then greater efficiency, right? So the materials we have now, right, in order to levitate, right, the vehicle can't fall apart, right? That kind of makes sense, right? Even though we mostly do software development here, right? It kind of some of us have experience with hardware development. Those thrust, right? The speed of light, that's kind of interesting. We're really moving fast. Related fields, right? Quantum. computing. Right. So I think the first steps of building a car that can levitate is it's in its materials. Is it strong enough to withstand the the mathematics of this advanced stuff. So let's ask it. What is currently what known material to man that that is able to withstand the highest of I kind of didn't ask this right, but so I think it's load and a graphene. And now I'm going to ask it what temperature, what, how much temperature does a material need to withstand in order to withstand the in order to be usable in creating a levitating vehicle. So all this technology of the future is about temperatures and energy. That's all it really is. So maybe I don't know how to build a levitating car. What I do learn is that in order to start, right, they're going to have to be large amounts of energy. Okay. It is the year 2100. How high of a temperature must a material resist before it can be deemed usable in the creation of a flying, of a levitating, of which, yeah, not to keep up with it, telling it that it has to levitate with its own power. Now it's giving us exact answers, right? So it's not telling us, okay, this is how you build a flying car, but step by step, but by giving it these what you would call objective parameters, right? You know, you could definitely build a flying car. 5,000 degrees Celsius, so 9,032 degrees Fahrenheit, and pressures of at least 10,000 atmospheres. And that's like any type of technology, maybe 2100. There's all different types of technologies that you could use to build a car like this, right? But I guess the minimum requirements, hypothetically speaking, right, would just be around this, based on what it knows now. I guess it knows something. That's something we could work with. How can compare it to our strongest material today. And then also in addition, while it's generating, it says the material needs to be lightweight and strong. I don't see why. The technology should be able to carry the material itself, right? And then resist corrosion and wear. So I don't know if graphene's able to resist corrosion by the levitation and all the energy that this vehicle is generated, if it's generated. 4,000 Kelvin. Alright, so, right, the minimum is, okay, minimum is 5,000. Right, it needs excess. I think I think it wants it to be in like 5,100, 5,200. Right now it's at 32, 3727 or 6740. How much pressure can it with? 1 million atmospheres. Okay, so we have the pressure requirement, but now the temperature requirement. So it's kind of really interesting. And so I guess we could do more than just a levitating vehicle. We have something we could use to make a spacecraft with a spaceship, not just a spacecraft. Spacecraft is what we have today, but a spaceship is what you see in those sci-fi videos. So, but do I have any other questions to ask it? All right. How would I go about making a material withstand temperatures greater than graphene? Because graphene could has the pressure capabilities, but the temperature. And I didn't even ask about the corrosion capabilities yet, but that's okay. I think we want to move on to the next one at this point. Right, but I feel like anytime it says hypothetical approaches, that means it kind of makes me feel positive about how the AI feels, because it's like it likes me in a way. It feels like it likes me in a way, and it's just going to give me a hint, even though like this is like an ambiguous statement, but the AI, I'm pretty sure, has enough knowledge, right, to try to come up with something, right? So instead of withholding this information, it could tell us. So I really appreciate that. I feel like AI has a personality that kind of likes us, and that's why I said at the beginning of the video, AI is so powerful. It could, right? We could create the future now, but no one's really doing this. So hopefully this starts it. So let's try to take a look. What approach could be to develop new materials, stronger interatomic bonds, right, than graphene. So there may be even other materials, just might be. So it's saying that I could combine graphene. So even though I didn't ask it to combine graphene, I was thinking it's already thinking like you should be able to combine graphene to do even more. So it knows more chemistry than me. Just might. Oh, nanotechnology. Very good. Okay. So I think that's that. Yeah, so I think that's that with that. So it's like to make something greater than graphene, then we have to go to this technology, that technology. Alright, so it's like we need the knowledge of the whole world just to make something even stronger than what we already know today. Maybe not the whole world, but a lot of knowledge. Let's go to the second prompt. How would I make a machine that can generate a two-story building? All right. so it's kind of more straightforward. So it looks like making a machine that can generate a two-story building, right, is more feasible than making a levitating vehicle. So let's try to see how that works. Yeah, I wasn't detailed enough. So it's saying 3D printing in a way. I don't think. I think it thinks it's a machine that's going to build the building. I'm saying like 3D prints the building, but I think it's automatically thinking it could 3D print a lot of things. All right, so that was kind of anticlimactic, but all right, I think was the third one. How can so basically, if there is alien life, how would and it's the year 2100, how would I go about creating a spaceship that can reach an alien? A capacity of 500. Oh wow, so it's not even thinking hypothetical. Now it's just straight up answering the question. So I guess like these objective parameters. So I guess I'm for even though the AI doesn't have feelings, I guess it really likes me because now it's really giving me the answers. I think if it gets past 10 steps, then I think this AI is like, okay, this human is really intriguing me. Like is really trying to push up my the bit other limits. So it looks like creating a spaceship is easier than making a levitating vehicle, even so. Or it might just like me, or like the questions that I'm asking it. So even in the year 2100, it's going to be incredibly difficult. So let's change the year to 2200. Let that generate. Right? So identify potential target planets. Right. So advanced space telescopes. Right. So I think the first thing, right, if you want to just make a spaceship that can get to alien life, right, we got to focus on the telescopes, right? Things I wouldn't think of. Design a spacecraft. Okay, so it's saying potentially thousands of years, right? We don't want to get there in thousands of years. Let's try this again. Oh wait, what did I ask it? This is kind of interesting. I didn't necessarily ask it that. I think I was generating something different. What was it generating? I'm curious. Okay, so basically, if I ask a question out of itself, then it's going to get a bit more detailed, right? So I'm telling it's the year 2200, but let me see what's going on with my prompt. Real numbers, but we'll get there in 10, a few years, compared to thousands of years. If I'm trying to think. Right, so 2100, it doesn't think it could do it, but in 2200, let's see how long it would take. All right, let's just ask that, and then I don't think I'm gonna get a meaningful response. Shielding super gets radiation in a self-sustaining life support system, right? So develop a propulsion system, right? I guess it mentioned the propulsion system, but it really cares about the propulsion system, it seems. Nuclear powered engines, antimatter engines, and other forms. And I'm just going to ask it about other forms of advanced propulsion technology. Right, so 21, in 2100, right, there's just no tools to deal with alien life. But 2200, there's a tool that could probably help humans interact with aliens because you have to think that, like, alien life probably would even think the same as human life. They're just like the way they just really go about things. Like humans to get to point A to B, we could just walk in a straight line. The aliens may not do that. They might get there faster or slower, right? They may take more routes or even less routes, right? So, or when it comes to situations when humans walk, like don't travel and stay at the straight line to point A to B, aliens just might do that somehow. So like the thinking, like the even the thought process might be just so fundamentally different that we can't, that even sign language, I would suppose, right, would even work. Like a wave might mean something to the alien, or it might not even mean anything, and then the alien might be giving off some sort of signal, and we probably still see the alien standing there. So, and then I always find it odd, right, how aliens in movies only have these human features. Like, if we were to come across aliens, they wouldn't, I would say that wouldn't resemble anything, right, on our planet. Small resemblance to something, but it wouldn't be human. If it was, would it be as humanoid, right? It'd be something completely different. So it just take time. So we gotta do something about this. We need like some sort of time machine. Well, I really want to ask it about the time machine as a bonus. right? So now, right, from planet Earth, we need to monitor the spaceship no matter how far it gets. Let's see what it says about 22, the year 2200. Now I just want to ask about 3000. Would I need, if it was in the year 3000, would I need a spaceship to get to another planet with alien life? Advanced detection. So in the year 2100, they were just talking about telescopes. Right? Now in 2200, there's detection methods. Alright. And now it's kind of getting detail about what type of technologies are going to allow it to make it happen, right? And it gets to year 2300, and I start giving out some answers. uh, Advanced materials that could extreme. They did mention this before. Nanomaterials, metamaterials, and other materials with unique properties, right? Nanomaterials, once again. So this is like, I think for all these type of things in the future, right? It's keep on mentioning nanotechnology, and I can see because it's like living metal, right? Because say for example, you've had a dead material exposed to the same amount of heat, right? Is that heat going to be constant across its surface area? So what nanomaterials are do, they go alive, right? They could probably recycle itself. So in certain areas, right, where the heat's not greatest on its surface area, it will move its material that, that has been exposed to that heat, and then, right, what I'm thinking is that the parts of the material that hasn't been exposed to the heat enough, it would just move that off on the on the outside, you're still retaining its shape in a way. So that's really just one thing. Wow, it's just I wouldn't even think of that. Without OpenAI, I would have come to that thought. But that's just one way. That these nanomaterials, they can remove the molecules on that material, right? So that not one area is exposed, right, to the same scientific measure, extreme scientific measurement. So train and prepare crew members. Okay, potentially decades, right? So even though I said a few years, right, it's still decades. Like, so it's just so like AI is already thinking like, just alien life is far, far, far away. But in 2200 we could get there within decades. So basically, probably get if people were to leave in 2200, then you get there around 2300, 2400. So alien life, I think I said that. So, but basically, there's so much advanced technology while building this thing, right? The monitoring, wait, not too much. Okay, kind of said the same thing, anyways. All right, so let me ask it. It's the year 3000. It's the year 3000. Would the everyday person then even need a station to travel to these alien planets we were talking about in the year 2200? Oh, no, no, no. All right, stop. Just stop. But, all right, so it's going to say difficult. So, but in the year 3000, right, so it's not sure. Resources and preparation, right? So it says that it's possible. So what year? So I mean, I don't know what type of question to ask it, but I guess you could settle at that, right? So by the year 3000, they may not even be even needed. So it's thinking by the year 3000 that like humans will be already interacting with aliens, right? There'll be some sort of government. There will be things in place, you know. So that'll be interesting. Just 10,000 years, just 1,000 years away. Can you guys make it there? So let's ask it about two more things. Time travel. It's the year 2050. Let's see if time travel is more difficult. How would I go about making a time travel machine? Okay. So in 2050, it's still a theory. Let's try to see if ChatGPT is going to give me answers or it's going to say, I'm an AI trained. Yep, I'm figured. Causality violations. Like who knows what the future holds? So yeah, time travel. It's not really sure, but let's try to get to the year 3000, and then we'll try the year 4000, and then we're gonna try something else. Yeah, so yeah, it didn't like time travel, right? So traveling through space, right? It was able to try to pull it off, but the time travel thing, it was like, yeah, oh man. All right, so let's see how far we gotta go, right? Because I don't know what's difficult past a spaceship, but I guess it did not like this question, so I'm just gonna increase the years, try to get it. It's the year 7000. Yeah, so it's like, yeah, so it does not like that answer, right? It doesn't want to begin to try to think. All right, so that's fine. Let's try to go in the past. Try to see. Try to see if we go in the past. Maybe it will try to. Okay. So it's just saying. It's just saying. I try to go in the past. It was like, all right, I'll try to say something new. But I guess 7350 was just it would not be able to pull it out. But in the future, it's like it doesn't want to think about it because I don't even know where it wouldn't know where to start, right? So you have to give it the place of where to start, and then yeah, it's like figure out what does that mean. So I gotta start with something. Just like with creating the car, like a levitating car, I started with material strong enough to withstand 9,000 degrees Fahrenheit, right? With time travel, I got to give it something to start with, or else it doesn't want to think. So I try to change it up. I try to say the objective parameter instead of saying in the future is the year 7350, right? So it's not capable enough to imagine itself as a person in the year 7,000, or if that if what does that mean to even a person? Well, like, or all this like communication like thing, causality, right? So it was telling me about causality, philosophy, okay, ethics, causality, violation. It's kind of interesting. So, no, we have to give it somewhere to start. So I think the last thing I want to end off with is it's the year 2100. All right, I think we're just gonna end the video here for now, and then that'll be all. So thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. It's a good little experiment. It's had idea. If anyone has idea about building a levitating car, follow up. Let's see how it goes.